Hey everybody, how we doing today? So, I just moved to a new spot and I don't know what bait to use. So in today's video, I'm going to show you an alternative way of figuring out what baits to use, and you don't even have to ask anybody. So let's check it out. Okay, so today's project is going to involve my full-size camera and this guy. So this is my 45-200 telephoto lens. I've had this thing for probably about 3 years. I think I spent $100 on it. I was planning on using it for taking bridge fishing videos, but being able to zoom in on the fish down below, but never got around to it. But we're gonna bring this baby out today. All right, so that is our rig right there. So let's take it out and do some shooting. All right, for today's mission, we're gonna use old Clanky here. Man, not gonna last much longer. I could put my finger through the other side. All right, off we go. We are here. This is Vaca Cut. Leads from the Gulf of Mexico to the Atlantic side, that way there. It's the main highway in the Middle Keys, because this is it that goes through unless you go about 4 miles that way to the 7 Mile Bridge, and probably 10 miles that way to I don't know what. But we are looking at those guys. All those lures stuck in the telephone wire power cables there. And that's going to give us a quick idea of what people are using around here. And that's why I've got the telephoto lens, so we could zoom in on them and see what the people are using, at least on this bridge. All right, we are all set up. The problem is this bridge is very spongy, so every time a truck goes by, it bounces. But I'm going to try taking a sweeping video, but then I'm going to take still shots and analyze those when I get home. So let's see if we can do this. We're back, had a beautiful sunset out there. So let's pull the images off the camera and see what people are throwing here in Marathon, at Vaca Cut at least. All right, let's take a look at what lures they're using up there on the bridge. Right off the bat, you can see that blue and white one. That's called a flare hawk. The center lures there, kind of the hard baits, Rapala, Yuzuri style. Left-hand side got a little soft plastic fluke. Can't beat that. Next, these are my bait guys. Live bait matters. Just a lot of bare hooks, and then you can see there it's a dehydrated. It used to be probably live pinfish or grunt. This is one of those new high-tech gizmos. It's a hard body up front, the front half. The back half is a soft plastic for the action. But if you look at it, there's kind of like a little knob wheel on the forehead there. And I think what that is that there's actually a length of leader attached to that hard body, and it's attached to that wheel, and you wind it up so that it pulls in the leader and the hook up to the body. So when you get a bite, the hook hooks the fish, that leader unravels from the wheel, and then you're just playing the fish against the hook, not against the lure, so you have less chance of it to pop out, or I think that's in theory what it's supposed to be. But that's kind of a build a better mousetrap lure there. Good luck to you. This one's my bottom feeder, guys. A lot of knocker rigs, egg sinkers, cut baits. Baits after my heart there. Nice little whiptail there. Another eel imitation. I don't know about the 2-hook rig, but whatever floats your boat. Now these are starting to get in some pricier lures here. I think that bottom one, the white one's a Rapala Yozuri. That purple one, though, I can't really see, but the thing is that a lot of times people come down and they're spending a lot of money to come down to the Keys on their fishing trip. But what happens? Buy all this expensive gear, rent the hotel, get the flights down, get a guidebook. They get here and the weather is crappy and the trip gets canceled. So what they do, they come to the bridge because where else they can go, they start chucking whatever the gear that they've got, and a lot of times it could be this pretty expensive stuff. So that purple one up there could be a pretty pricey one. Next here we got, looks like a walk the dog topwater there, maybe going for tarpon during the mullet run. Another Yozuri Rapala style in the bottom white. See this one here, that on the top, that greenish with the white, it's got that kind of ceramic look to it. Those kind of baits can run up to like $40, $50, $60. So they can be pretty pricey. I can't tell for sure by the view of it, but it does look like a pricey one. We got the good old cut bait. Just cut it in half, throw it out there, chunk it out and see what happens. And then we've got another one of those half hard bait, half soft paddle tails in the bottom. Now this one's just got lots of hard baits, lots of money on this one. This one, I think if you can get this one down, clean them up, list them individually on eBay, you could pay for a weekend trip to the Keys with this one. Here's another grouping there. You got a little bit of everything: flare hawks, hard baits, bucktails. The only weird one is up there in the top center left. It's kind of like a snowman lure. It's either that or it's a couple of 8 balls of cocaine, because this is the Keys. Got a hard baits up top, jointed there, and then, oh, nice little paddle tail. Another one going for my heart here. Going back to that one, though, if you're going to be throwing paddle tails, just understand you're trying to imitate a live bait. What that really means is you got to really narrow down on your presentation, get rid of that swivel, learn to tie a loop knot, and go as clean as possible. Here's a little better view of an actual flare hawk. The deal with flare hawks, there's probably only one other group of people that are more passionate than probably the Trumpers or the Black Lives Matters group, and that's the flare hawk guys. Never talk bad about the flare hawks, because otherwise you're going to get an earful about 3 hours about how they're the best lures in the world. Here's another one. You got another one of those half hard, half soft baits on the top, and then followed by another flare hawk there. I'd be really cool with this guy if he was running them in line like that. That'd be something different. Here's a little close-up of the flare hawks. Another bit of mix match hard baits. Got a nice little plastic whiptail. There's another flare hawk, and on the bottom another one of those hard baits with the soft plastic bottoms. Hopefully it's not the same guy, otherwise that guy is just like bummered. He threw away lots of money. Another one, a lot of bucktails. Got the bunch of flare hawks. A lot of money in that one as well. Then we've got the good old bucktail, classic. All right, so I hope you found that somewhat interesting and a bit informative. But like everything to do with fishing, you always have to take it with a grain of salt. Me personally, out of all those lures up there, I would probably pick none of them, to be honest. That pass there gets a lot of boat traffic during the day, so I probably wouldn't fish it during the day, but if I had to, I would have the chum bag out and I would be drifting cut baits, or I'd have a live bait or a big chunk of dead bait on the bottom with the knocker rig, and that's what I would be using. With the exception, maybe during the mullet run, I wouldn't be using any of the larger size plugs. However, if there's a bunch of mullet all over the place, I definitely would be using those big poppers, big top of water lures and so forth, or even those soft plastic jerk baits or anything resembling a mullet basically. Realistically, I would fish it definitely at nighttime when the boats are gone. The bait of choice passing through there, always match the hatch, is basically live shrimp and crabs. Yes, you'll get pilchards if the mullet around, those are there too, but I would say the majority of the fish feeding there are going to be targeting little 3 to 4 inch shrimp, and that's what I would switch to, probably a little artificial that way, or some sort of top water lure that kind of resembles that same dimensions. One of the bad habits fishermen have, and that's kind of a good example of it, is that we use what we're comfortable with. So I'm sure there's people, I know all those flare hawks are the mainland guys doing the bridges for snook, but a guy from Minnesota catches muskie with some cert lure, and by God, he's going to bring that lure down here and catch yellowtail snapper with it because it's his favorite lure and he's got confidence in it. Fisherman from the Colorado Rockies catches brown trout on a certain dry fly. He's going to bring it down and try to catch tarp with it because that's what he feels comfortable with it. Some guy from Russia catches those big old sturgeon on a certain lure. That's coming with him, and that's what he's going to catch a yellowtail with because that's what he's comfortable with. So as fishermen, we kind of have that as a kind of a little bit of a bad habit. But like I say, I try to just don't think about anything. I just think about matching the hatch, and then you really can't go wrong there. So otherwise, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you next video. Bye.